Alrighty. So we have Mackenzie Dern versus Nina Ansaroff. So for Mackenzie Dern, she's 5-1 in the UFC. In my opinion, that record is a little bit, how you going? Yeah, let's have a look at the record. I think they've matched her up very favorably, in my opinion. So we got Verna. She's a grappler with no striking. Pretty much Kenzie's delight there. Marcos, who's pretty decent, but obviously just a flake, and then she ended up wilting there in that one. Hannah Cyphers, who has zero grappling. Hebus, which was a misstep. I don't know if they underestimated Hebus or tried to get Hebus over on Dern. But yeah, that was a bad matchup for Dern, and we saw what happened. Meta Cooper, bad, poor grappling, not very good in general. Yoda, who actually did pretty well against what's her name, Mackenzie Dern. But yeah, a lot of people thought Yoda won that fight, but Mackenzie pulled it off. She showed pretty decent striking and grit in that fight to win it. And yeah, personally, I scored it for Dern, but a lot of people thought Yoda won. But yeah, so on the feet, yeah, she can get outstruck by a lot of. For Nina Ansaroff, she's 35 now. She is coming off a 22-month layoff. She had the pregnancy in between then. So yeah, how is she going to look after that layoff? We'll see. And yeah, she was talking about retirement before the layoff. So, something to think about. Is she fully there? All that kind of stuff. But she does have a good camp. She has a good team. I've noticed that she's very coachable. Listens to her coaches very actively, and especially in an empty arena, that'll be very good for her. I'm guessing it's going to be an empty arena at the Apex, but it could be at Fight Island with crowd. But I think an empty arena would do her good because she listens to her coaches very intently, and she seems to act on those commands, pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll get into the striking of these two. For Mackenzie Dern, she likes to brawl in the pocket. She can get a little sloppy, but, she's a dog. She'll come forward, start winging bombs. She doesn't really know how to take a backward step. She is constantly coming forward. For Nina Ansaroff, on the other hand, a lot of her offense comes on the back foot. She doesn't mind fighting off the back foot, pumping that jab out. She's got a nice snapping jab. Dern has a nice jab too, but in my opinion, Ansaroff's is, infinitely better. But yeah, so for Ansaroff, she likes to keep it at kickboxing range. For Dern, she likes to get in the pocket. So it's going to be an interesting clash of styles here. For Dern, she will throw everything into that right hand, pretty much. And she definitely has the power advantage. She has some raw power, in my opinion. You can tell she generates a bit of force from her punches. For Nina Ansaroff, she, coming from that kickboxing background, she doesn't move her head off center line at all, really. She just kind of puts the guard up and, takes it on the chin pretty much. Well, takes it on the gloves, hopefully. But, yeah, straight punches or like a jab. Like if Dern throws the jab out, I can see that landing. But generally, she's really good at distance control, so that's kind of how she mitigates that, the risk of her getting hit clean. But yeah, she takes shots well, in my opinion. She seems to have a good chin. It's women's straw we're talking about here, but she seems to take shots well and keep coming forward, keep her composure and stuff like that. That's more what I'm talking about. And yeah, you can tell with a kickboxing background, that's probably where she got it from. For Mackenzie Dern, she she will overextend on her overhand or her straight right, fairly often. She's not afraid of getting taken down. I guess that's, how she gets away with it. But also, she can always just pull guard or roll into something, as she overextends on it. But it's something like a seasoned striker like Ansaroff can take advantage of. For Ansaroff, she could look for that uppercut as, as Dern is closing distance as she dips. Because I did tape for this one a while ago, but I can't remember who she hit it on, but she was hitting a nice uppercut. I think it might have been Claudia. That she was hitting a nice uppercut as Claudia was dipping as she was entering distance, which is what Mackenzie Dern does. But yeah, so also Ansaroff has a nice low calf kick, kind of how she separates herself from other strikers. Because like in women's strawweight, if you go strike for strike, it's pretty much going to go to split decision every time because there's no. Usually, someone doesn't have the power advantage. It's just kind of pretty weak punches. Like, I'm not being disrespectful here. I'm just being honest. Like that's, they're not the most powerful punches. So you got someone like Angela Hill and Nina Ansaroff, whatever. If they went strike for strike with boxing, it would be very hard to judge their fights. But the leg kicks were a nice differentiator in the Angela Hill fight for Nina Ansaroff. Also, she has a nice teep to the body. Alright, let's get into the grappling of these two. Alright, so we all know Dern. She's a legit black belt. She will pull guard because she's so confident in her ground game. She'll accept bottom position very easily. So if Nina Ansaroff kicked her legs out, she wouldn't mind just laying on her back, hoping Ansaroff falls into her guard because she's just very comfortable there. Once you do fall into a guard, she'll immediately tack an armbar or a triangle as soon as you get on top. So as soon as she gets put on her back, pretty much she'll start scrambling for submissions off bottom. I saw that in the Marcos fight. She was down there for like 30 seconds or something. I think she got subbed by an armbar in like 30 seconds. So yeah, she's very dangerous off her back. But we haven't seen her like control someone with her jiu-jitsu in the UFC yet. We've just seen her mostly off her back and in scrambles. So, she's not that type that's going to lay and pray or get good amount of time in top control in a fight and really control the fight like that. We haven't seen that yet, so I can't, say she's going to do that. But for Nina Ansaroff, she seems to have good balance when defending the single leg, and she has a good sprawl as well. She can get pushed to the fence after the sprawl. We saw that with Tatiana Suarez, but no, there's not many Tatiana Suarez's that are gonna, in the strawweight division, that are gonna get a takedown stuffed and then drive you to the fence and work a single leg. So yeah, it's just the chain wrestling. It's not really something a lot of strawweights do. But in general, I think Ansaroff, in respect to her division, has very good takedown defense, just in compared to her peers. Alright, so for Dern, she doesn't set up a takedown. She can shoot from too far away. She looks to drive through her single leg across the cage, pretty much her go-to takedown. So that hit a few times in the Hebus fight, but yeah, someone with good takedown defense, especially on the single leg like Ansaroff, when you're not cutting an angle or anything, making her think about anything else, just kind of, sprawling. I don't think it'll work, but she doesn't seem like she knows what to do after she isolates the leg and gets the leg. She doesn't seem to know how to finish the single leg. So yeah, I bet she's working on it, but that's all I have to go off so far in her career. How these guys win their fights. So for Mackenzie Dern, she has a legit ground game. She's very dangerous off her back. She's very active off her back. Her stand-up is improving every fight. We saw a really nice jab from her in her last fight, so I'm keen to see the improvements that she's made. For Nina Ansaroff, she already has a well-made jab. It's very nice, very snapping. I like it. She has good takedown defense as well. She has good footwork to stay away from the fence, so she doesn't get taken down near the fence or pushed to the fence by someone driving. And also, yeah, nice low kicks as well. Also, how these guys lose. For Mackenzie Dern, so she seems to have a little trouble getting the fight to the ground, like on her own terms. So she's definitely improving on that, likely with Jason Perillo. Like they see that as a hole in her game and they're probably working on it. But yeah, so far in her career, had a difficult time getting it to the ground when she wants it. Also, like straight counter punches, we saw her have a real tough time against Hebus when Hebus was just landing the 1-2 over and over again, pretty much because her head doesn't move off center line very often. And also she has really predictable movement. So yeah, and that's kind of what she's in for against Ansaroff, who's a lot of her punches are down the pipe. For Ansaroff, how she loses a lot of her fights is when she gets out-wrestled. She's also a slow starter. She typically loses the first round. And when she's out-wrestled, it doesn't happen too often, But when she tends to get taken down and then be controlled on the ground. So yeah, when she gets taken down, she doesn't have the best get-ups. Alright, so past the victory for these two. For Dern, obviously we want to try and get it to the mat. So forward pressure to the fence control, look to, control the clinch there. Nice inside low kick. Ansaroff is heavy on the lead leg, so look for that inside low kick that you've thrown a few times. But also take her back if she turns away to escape from the single leg, which she was doing a few times in the Suarez fight. But also, if you're having trouble getting the fight to the ground, just pull half guard. If you can't create the single, pull half guard. Try and sweep her with a leg lock or something like that. Just try and get it to the mat. For Ansaroff, jab her up. I think her nose was broken in her last fight. I'm not sure if that was confirmed or not. I can't really see anything from her Instagram, but it seemed to be broken. And she was saying it was broken in the fight. So, jab up that nose. Probably hasn't fully recovered. Hasn't been that long. Well, so like a few months ago, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months. I think 5 months or 4 months since this fight. So this fight's on April 11th. It'll be 4 months ago that she broke her nose. But yeah, leg kicks as well for Nina Ansaroff. She's predictably coming forward, chop her legs down. 1-2 if Dern is going to start leaning back with her chin in the air, extend on the 2. Ansaroff doesn't really throw too many combinations. It's kind of the jab, the leg kick, just to keep distance. But if she really let her hands go, I think she'd do a lot of damage here. But also, if Dern's going to be dipping as she's closing the distance, look for that uppercut. At distance, look for teeps to the body. Dern keeps a very high guard, so look for that. Also, if she throws any lazy kicks or anything, look to catch the kick. Look to catch the kick and kick her base out. Just kick her post leg out behind. It's just a good visual for the judges. So yeah, and once she's on her back, because yeah, you kick her rear leg, she's gonna pull guard pretty much, and once she's off her back and she's kind of asking you to jump in her guard, obviously not, but then you just stay there for as long as you can, just kicking her legs. It's one of the most OP things in women's MMA right now. Is just letting them sit in their back and just keep kicking their legs. It's a good way to rack up points. You're just trying to win a decision at the end of the day, most of the time in women's MMA. So, yeah, take that gift that she's given you. If she's going to pull guard, start kicking her legs and get some, good visuals for the judges. But also, if you do get taken down, immediately try and get off bottom. I mean, obviously, but also if she tries to clinch up, look to disengage on the clinch pretty much immediately. Alright, so how I see this one going. Alright, so I'm really excited for this one actually. If Nina comes back in the same form which she left, I believe she takes this one. In my opinion, I think they're pushing Dern much too fast. I mean, her stand-up is a very early work in progress. It's very elementary to say the least. If she wins, she's now ranked in the top 5. She's surrounded by Rose Namajunas, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Yan Xiaonan, Marina Rodriguez, Claudia Gadelha. I don't think she beats any of those. Probably not Marina actually. I think Marina stuffs takedowns and smashes her on the feet. But I just don't think she beats any of those women at the top of the heap. So I think this is too much of a step up. I don't think her game's well-rounded enough to be having this much of a push so far in her career. But yeah, I don't think she's going to have much success with her takedowns in this fight either. I think Nina's takedown defense on the fence is, too good on single legs, especially the kind of single leg that Dern goes for where she doesn't really know what to do after she isolates the leg. But also, I don't think she'll have any success with her takedowns at range. I think Nina stuffs them pretty easily. And then when she's standing, then she's standing with Nina. So she could definitely make it ugly and bum rush Nina, just winging overhands, just making Nina really uncomfortable. I think that would be her best chance that she has on the feet. But even then, I lean Nina, just being the cleaner striker. The jab's always going to be there. Uppercuts there. The two's there if she really wants to set on it. But yeah, at distance, I'm fairly confident Nina cruises. You know, even with the improvements that Dern's made in the stand-up, it's nowhere near the level of Ansaroff's stand-up. And I reckon Dern, you know, makes the fight competitive, but ultimately Ansaroff is just the clear winner. I think it'll be 30-27, maybe 29-28 if, you know, Nina lives up to her slow starter reputation. But I think, yeah, she gets it done pretty easily here. Could be a live bet opportunity. Maybe Dern comes out bum rusher in the first round and, you know, wins it, but Nina's showing a little promise. Then maybe, you know, there'll be some good odds on Ansaroff in after the first round. So yeah, I'm kind of looking for that as well, but generally, I think Nina gets it done. So the prediction is Nina Ansaroff by decision. I think she gets this dub around 65% of the time to Mackenzie Dern's 35. And I wasn't expecting this line at all. I think it's very, you know, hype based, and a recency bias is in, you know, taking a big part of this. But yeah, I think Dern, I think she's severely outmatched here. And I think people are just forgetting about Ansaroff. But, you know, she's very well rounded. And yeah, I probably will have a few bets here, especially the money line. If it's going to be like that when it comes out for the American and Australian betting lines, I'm going to jump on it. It's probably going to be a bit of a punt. I'll probably go like 4 units. Like, I'm pretty confident stylistically Nina wins. But, you know, with that layoff, you probably want to go a little bit smaller. But I love a punt, so I'm probably going to go a little bit large on Nina if the odds are the same when the lines come out for, you know, the greater public. And yeah, so I was expecting it to be like $1.70, where I was going to chuck it $1.70 to like $1.90, where I was going to chuck a few units on that as well, like maybe 1 to 2, but she's going to be like over $2.20. I'll probably chuck 4 units on. I'm pretty confident stylistically Nina gets it done. But yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully she comes back after that layoff looking good, but I think she cruises here, honestly.